We'll talk about mental health and the importance of mental health in our lives. So let's
Yeah.
start with you first, your introduction and your role in the mental health spectrum.
Hi. Thank you for having me. So the first thing is I'm a counseling psychologist by profession. I hold a master's degree, my bachelor's as well in counseling psychology. I'm also a researcher, and I'm very focused on increasing awareness on mental health and helping people understand the importance of being kind to themselves.
How important is mental health, especially now that we are into the lockdown the second time and the situation is even worse?
Important because it's actually your mental health and your physical health is very much linked. So, and the current scenario is quite saddening. Like, the truth is, it is quite a bad scene out there, and like, it is going to get to our minds to a great extent. So it's very important for people to focus on what can they do that is in their control to help calm their minds down and to keep a track on their mental health. So I think right now is the most important time to take care of it, and that in turn affects even your physical health, like your immunity levels and all of that. So staying hydrated, engaging in exercises, and all of that is again very important. So I believe the both of them, they're quite important and quite connected. So if you take care of both, then only you'll be able to be a whole individual. But at the same time, I'm also acknowledging that it's right now your mental health, if it's going down, it's okay. Like, it's okay to not be fine because the scenario is so abnormal and we're only reacting normally to this situation.
A lot has changed over the last year. A lot has happened in our families, in our, let's say, in our around us and everything. Before that, mental health has been a very hush issue. In families, we not used to talk about it much, and it's considered a really like a taboo kind of. So how the narrative has changed over the year?
Definitely there has been a progress. At the same time, a lot of the youth, we are standing up and slowly recognizing the importance of it because we are seeing a direct impact on the basics of our life, like our relationships, our physical health, and so on. So people are slowly recognizing that, and they're learning to set boundaries. They're learning to say no. They're learning to stand for themselves. They're learning to check in with how they feel and not just throw away sadness. They're learning to accommodate such emotions. So definitely there has been an improvement over the year. People are taking care, but also the circumstances have not been improving over the years. So even that is causing it, making it more difficult for people to take care because so many losses. It's like the mind is like, oh my god, what more am I supposed to take? And it's completely normal to feel that way at this point.
So how is it, like, we are at our homes, we don't have those basic recreational activities that we used to have, the morning walks and the outings and everything. So how would you suggest to maintain the mental health, especially for ourselves? That's obviously the main concern, and of those around us.
Definitely we are not able to do all of those things now, but that's why we get creative. So we're humans, okay, and we really are good at adjusting and adapting. That is a gift we all have within us. So there can be different creative ways in which you can engage. So a few ways in which me and my clients, we all engage is, for example, because there's so much uncertainty around us, we don't know what's happening tomorrow. Like, it's so uncertain. Having a routine for yourself within the house, like, I get up every day at this time, I do this at this time, I'm going to paint at this time. All of this can actually help in bring, some amount of certainty among that uncertainty. Like, at least your day, how it's going to go, if not at least the world, around us. That is one way. Another important thing is, try to, pick up a book and just write down all the feelings and the thoughts you're having. So, journaling, that is something you can do because we all confined within the house. And get creative with even your body, like, get moving. That's very important because just sitting there and, thinking and consuming negative news again and again, it's just going to make you feel very doomed. At this point, we all feel very helpless. Like, what can we do? At the most, we can share on Instagram, try to provide numbers, but what else? Can you save the life? We don't know. So, try to get moving, keep a time for the screen as well. Don't just keep consuming or just scrolling through Instagram. The news is filled with a lot of sad stuff. So it's okay to take a break from that. So that's the best way right now you can preserve your mental health. Be aware of what you're consuming. It's not that, whatever you get in front of you, just keep like taking in. And at the same time, when it comes to your other family members or your loved ones and your friends, know that, you all are in this together and you're not alone. You're not suffering alone. The whole of India right now is suffering regarding this. So definitely that factor that we are not alone can bring some sort of comfort that acha theek hai, we have each other, and calling up, have video calls, have audio calls, be socially connected through the phone. We are blessed with the technology, let's use it. Try to focus on your career maybe or something else, divert the mind is what I think is very important at this point. And also do your bit towards the community. If someone really needs help, it's okay to help them. Like, don't just be like, I can't consume bad things, I'm not going to help you. Whatever resources you have, make use of them and give back, because you will get it back at one point. And yeah, and listening to each other's stories, giving that shoulder, it's really important at this point. Yeah, so this is what I would
I think even I've been listening to stories where people are very hostile towards the people who are testing positive and all.
Yeah.
So that's also
that is
an aspect.
Exactly. But that's not the truth, right? At the end of the day, we all are humans and we are in this together.
Absolutely.
So, having a non-judgmental ear when someone's telling you about, for example, they tested positive, listen to them, hear them out. You don't need to give them some medical advice or say, kuch nahi hoga, this will pass. Don't give false hopes as well. We don't know. So just say, I'm here listening to you. Whatever you want to say, just tell me, I'm here. That's more than enough. That actually gives you quite a solid support without, promising false things. Yeah.
Just being there for each other, kind.
Yeah, just being there for each other. That's all it is at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes, like, let's say we understand this, our generation is changing the narrative, trying to talk about things, but sometimes there are parents, grandparents, maybe young kids younger than us also, right? How can we recognize, is there in any way to recognize that the other person might be like suffering and not being able to talk about it? How can we recognize that in so much?
So since we are so blessed with the technology and we have so many resources, accredited resources, I'm not going to say Instagram or Google, but proper government websites and different PDFs and research papers, you can actually go read up and educate yourself. That is the first thing. If you want to help someone, you need to be educated about that to some extent. So first step is to educate yourself and understand, okay, how do you find out if someone is struggling mentally? Just like how your heartbeat is up, down, up, down. Even your mental health will go up, down, up, down. It's not necessarily someone who's mentally healthy can't feel low. It's completely normal. It's up, down. And if they're feeling down, how do you recognize that? So there are a few sets. For example, you have physical symptoms, physical signs that you can see. It can be, too many headaches and feeling very stressed in your shoulders, or sweating and heartbeat racing, breathing issues. And these are the different breathing issues than COVID. This is more it happens just for 10-15 minutes and then we are fine. So these are physical symptoms, and there could be emotional symptoms where, they become very irritated, angry, frustrated, anxious, sad for quite a lot, time, feeling alone, lonely. All of these could be a few emotional signs. And the last would be your behavioral signs, where, you can see their behaviors changing. They might just withdraw. That person is always someone who likes to be with people. All of a sudden they're like, I don't want to, I just don't want to deal, because they don't have that energy, lack of motivation. And, that could be one thing. Or they're over trying to, get socially active and, completely ignore their emotions by distracting to an extent where, it might show up later in a bigger form. And maybe consuming substances continuously, or verbal abuse. So these are a few behavioral symptoms also that you can see. So it's important for you to first be educated about what are the different signs. And once you start spotting the signs, the next step would be to see if they need help. And help as in, I'm not saying therapy or anything, see if they need your help for starters. And if you can handle it at home, fine. Then if not, then you can always seek additional support and talk to a professional about it. So, keeping that open mind of, ye nahi to ye, just that option number 2. So that's how you spot it. But yeah, you need to be observant. That's for sure.